Hello everyone, this is Sadaf and I will be presenting our work, Hierarchical Explanations for Video Action Recognition. I will begin with the motivation behind this work. So in this work, we are inspired by the way humans explain their decisions. So we humans, we tend to explain our decisions on different levels of granularity based on the information that we have. If we have less information, we are more abstract. And if we have more information, we tend to explain more concretely. So for instance, if we see a crowd cheering in a video, then we might infer it as a sports event. As the video progresses and we see a playground and some targets, then we might infer it as a target sports event. And when we see players with their bows, we conclude that this is an archery competition. So in this work, we are inspired by such way of explanations. Next I will go over some related work. And as we all know that majority of the research in the domain of explainable AI focuses on explaining networks for images, while there is very few, not a lot of work for interpretations for videos. So I will introduce two of the related works. One is called class feature pyramids for video explanation. So in this work, the model explores each layer and tries to find the kernels responsible for classification, while the second work utilizes perturbations for providing explanations. So they perturb input video and try to figure out which part of the input was responsible for a specific classification. So, however, both these methods are post-hoc methods and are single level, while in our work we work on built-in explanations and also provide hierarchical different levels of explanations. So, and our work falls into case-based reasoning models. So there are two major categories of case-based reasoning models. One is concept bottleneck models, in which you introduce a bottleneck layer, mostly at the end of the network, which predicts human understandable concepts like wing color, undertail color, and then you use those concepts to perform classification. While in prototype-based models, you learn prototypes which represent training samples and perform classification based on those prototypes. Our work is focused on prototype-based models. And as we introduce hierarchical explanations, so the way we integrate hierarchies in our network is by using hyperbolic embedding space. So different from Euclidean space, hyperbolic embedding space represents hierarchical knowledge in the embedding space. So its continuous representation enables implicit inclusion of parent and grandparent classes, along with the child classes, which we usually have in Euclidean space. Next, I will go over the method. So in this, the way we do it is we begin with a ResNet 3D backbone and extract video features, and then we introduce a hierarchical prototype layer and over here. And this prototype layer learns prototypes for children classes, for parent, and also for grandparent class. For example, here the child class is applying eye makeup, while for a parent is self-grooming and a grandparent is human-object interaction. Then we convert these prototypes into similarity scores, which represent how similar these prototypes are with the extracted features from ResNet. At the same time, we also have class embeddings embedded into hyperbolic space in order to learn these hierarchical prototypes. So we embed class embeddings, or in case of videos, actions into embedding space, hyperbolic embedding space, which represents these embeddings in hierarchical form. As class embeddings are in hyperbolic space and video embeddings are in Euclidean space, so we need to convert them into same embeddings. We need to map them into same embedding space in order to learn, in order to perform learning. So we use exponential map in order to convert Euclidean features into hyperbolic space, and then we use hierarchical cross entropy laws to perform the classification as well as to learn hierarchical prototypes. And this is a bit more in detail explanation of how we learn the hierarchical prototype layer. So we use given convolutional features from convolutional network, we compute the distances between the prototypes and the output from the convolutional layer, and then finally convert them into similarity scores. And these similarity scores represent how closer a prototype is to the convolutional output. And in order to provide visual explanations, we project these prototypes onto the closest video features from the training videos, and then we visualize them. And we do so for a child, parent, and grandparent classes. And now experiments. So we conducted our experiments on UCF 101, which consists of around 13,000 videos belonging to 101 classes, action categories. And the data set also comes with 5 grandparent categories, like major categories like playing music or human object interaction. But we define 20 parent categories here. For example, target sports, water sports, ice or snow sports. And these are defined using by grouping the action classes. And we evaluate our method on using accuracy. And also, as we are in hyperbolic space, so we can also calculate sibling accuracy and also cousin accuracy, like the relatedness. And the top 2 networks are non-interpretable networks in this table, and the last 2 are interpretable. And we observe that when we make these networks built-in interpretable, the performance drops, while our method tries to recover it, which shows the effectiveness of our method. Now, some qualitative results. So this test video, the top 1 prediction for this video is blow dry, and this is one of the learned prototype for this class. We learned 10 prototypes per class in our method, in our experiments. And the top 2 prediction, we observe that usually if it's the Euclidean space, then it's possible that the second prediction will be by random, while here this top 2 prediction is the sibling class. And these are the prototypes learned at the parent level. And these are the parent level class, which is self-grooming. And these are the prototypes learned at the grandparent class. This shows explanations in case of failure in classification. So this one skiing video was misclassified into rock climbing indoor. And obviously the learned prototypes belonged to rock climbing indoor. That's why it's misclassified into rock climbing indoor class. However, we observe that the parent class is, and this rock climbing indoor is basically a sibling class actually. And it's not misclassified into a completely different class. So the parent class is still sternus sports, and the grandparent is body motion class. So to conclude, in this work, we enabled multi-level explanations, which provide more information rather than just explaining only the categories, which child categories. And our quantitative results showed that our method reduces accuracy explainability trade-off. And yeah, we introduced this in order to provide some explanations for videos. Thank you.